Okay, this video is for the gold lovers, right? And let's see what Dragon's thinking for the midterm for gold now, right? Okay, let's go. Guys, so let's go for the gold, right? For now market is closed, right? But when the market opens, right? And yeah, before I jump it for today's plan, last time I have shared you all the plans on the gold as well, right? Okay, so from here, this was a first plan, right? Okay, part one, whereby the gold has a chance of going up to this levels, right? Okay, so exactly it have been doing that one, right? Since it is like it's stuck over here, right? Okay, from here it can pass on a upper side as well as it can go on a downside. So downside it is we're expecting a liquidation, this inverted head and shoulder pattern, right, towards the downside, directly a bearish move, and one is going back and taking the liquidations from the top, right? Okay, so that was the plan previously, right? And exactly the gold have been getting stuck over here, trying to pass a little bit on upper side, right? And you can see that the I've given you all this as the inverted head and head and shoulder patterns that you have got last time, right? We are in the verge of completing that one for the long terms, right? Okay, so this is a little bit long term, so you might you may not see the exact move that it is actually a moving something like that, right? Okay, so it can slowly move it, right? So it's around 4,300. We have reached up to 3,000 4,300 something else, I guess, right? Okay, so yeah, $378. So we have reached in these levels right now. So either market had to go for the liquidations on upper side. If it happens to go for the liquidation side, I might like to expect the gold moving towards 50 ranges, right, above 5,000 ranges, right? That is what I have told you all. And if it happens to expect the bearish move, you might like to see the gold coming back to $3,800 on a downside, right? Okay, from here, right, so gold is also very in the critical levels for the long holders, right? Okay, so long planners, right? Okay, now the gold, either the market has to jump out for the liquidations and upper side, or can come down and rex back towards the downside. So in fact, if the gold happens to come down below this levels, right, that can be a good move, good chance for the gold to rex back the head and shoulder patterns and trying to give you towards the downside move, right, giving a breakouts and clearing out, right, golds as well, right? But what if in fact if the gold happens to break above the certain levels on upper side? So what last time we have traced one levels whereby this is, I think, $4,490 and something else, right? Okay, from that levels, for that is up here, that is for the bulls, right? Okay guys, so let me mark with the black, right? And above these levels we wanted to plan for the longs and trying to move towards the upper side. So most probably above these levels we are looking for the long positions of big longs, 12% of move continues on upper side, right? And below, if it happens to expect, we are looking for the downside move, maybe a 10% move continuously drop on a downside with a stop loss above these levels. So your duty right now is to see whether the gold is trying to break out and holds below or not. Just giving a breakout and giving you a small move on upper side and trying to clear these levels, I can go for the short positions with the stop losses above these levels, right? Since above these levels, that can be a chances of for the market to go on upper side, right? But gold has a chances of doing this like this as well, right? Giving you a small move and trying to stretch on upper side, okay, like a BDC only, right? Okay, and trying to clear on upper side, right? So first breakouts it requires, and second is you requires a small level of confirmations on upper side, whereby I will be entering my long positions and trying to target an upper side. So this is for the gold, right guys? Okay, and I know the gold is right now, it is in a very critical level whether it should give you the directions on a bear phase or for this head and shoulder patterns, or go back and take out the liquidations, right? Or those who have shorts on this levels, loss of liquidations standing over there, right? I guess, right? Okay, so you need to be, as for like BDC, you need to be very careful over for the gold as well in this levels, right? Okay, those who are trying for the long terms, right? Okay, in fact, if it happens to give you rejections, sometimes market goes down, breaks down, and for the just the small pull down on a downside, it act as if like it is giving you the bears, and it will try to pull up and try to break out on the upper side. You should be very careful. All right, okay, so above these levels we can go for the longs, and below this levels, I'm going for the short. So nothing much financial advice, guys. All right, make your own research before you move in, right, guys? Okay, all right, okay. Dragon is not a certified financial advisor, right? Okay, but do not miss the next series, right? Okay, the part 3, right, whereby we will be heading towards our positions, right? Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, right, so that you can again try to see, you will be observing with me the market moves, right, for the goals as well, right? Okay, guys. All right, so this can be a plan for now. So sometimes, for as I have explained on BDC, right, market will try to give you a small breakouts towards downside and pulls up an upper side and give us small breakouts, and again on the retest phase, feeling it can drop down also. So you should be, I'll be waiting for this levels only, right? In fact, if it happens to get rejection from the top on the retest phase and trying to plan above below this levels, I will wait for the same phase. In case if it happens to give you the rejection from here, again I'm going to wait for the same phase on the long side. So we are coming back to our plans or previous plans, right? Okay, so which I have explained to you all. We are still moving on that plans yet, right? Since it's a long-term plan, it's going to take a little bit time, in fact, right? But this is what I'm understanding right now. So we have liquidations on the upper side, we have, we're expecting a head and shoulder patterns on the downside. So firstly, maybe if it happens to give the liquidation, this is going to be a little bit noisy for all the people, I guess, right? Because the market is going to confuse you a lot in this phase, right? And loss of dollars, I think it is going to be people are going to lose the loss of dollars in this phase, right? You should be very careful. All right, it can make somewhat like a sideways as well, right? Okay, so just this is what I'm understanding right now, right? But I'm waiting for the short positions below this levels. We're expecting this head and shoulder patterns, right? In case if it happens to doesn't give the confirm retest on the downside, rather than going for the shorters, I will be waiting for the upper side move, and I'll try to take a big move on the upper side, right? So that's going to be 1:2 almost, right? On the downside also 1:2 almost, right? Okay, so both sides we have good opportunities, right? But just you need to be careful. On the next series, we will try to, when the market comes to our closer to our plans, right, I keep updating you all from the next times as well, right? Okay, till then, take care. Signing off, Dragon.